latest news from Stan Maddox. The most accurate weather from staff meteorologist Wayne Mahar. Your number one source for news and information in LaPorte County is 96.7 The Eagle. Welcome to Sound Off on 96.7 The Eagle, LaPorte County's original social media. Sound Off is a public interest forum that encourages your voice to be heard on the topics and issues impacting our local communities. For the next 30 minutes, we invite you to be part of the conversation by calling 219-362-0522. And you can now text your questions to the Liquor Vault on-air line or by email to soundoff@967theeagle.com. This is a topic-based program, and we ask that you keep your comments brief, concise, and related to the topic being discussed. The views expressed on Sound Off are those of the host or callers and do not represent the opinion of 96.7 The Eagle, Spoon River Media LLC, or the sponsors. The Liquor Vault on-air line is now open for your calls or texts at 219-362-0522. This is Sound Off on 96.7 The Eagle.
Hello, friends. Today is August 29th, Monday. I hope you don't have a case of the Mondays too bad. If you do, you're with me now. We're going to have a good time over the next 40 minutes or so talking about what's on your mind. It's an open show again in August. We're doing as many as we can here in August because we get to candidate shows here in September and October so that you can know your candidates a little bit better. So I wanted to give enough time for you. And this is honestly one of my favorite shows. Might not be yours, but I love hearing from you about what's going on in LaPorte County and beyond. There are things that, again, sometimes don't get reported in the news or just takes on something, that I learned from. One of the best ways to be a good neighbor is to listen and learn from your neighbors and their stories and things like that. So I really enjoy it. So if something's happening here in LaPorte that you want to talk about, 219-362-0522, you're welcome to call or text me. Lots of stuff happening. We could talk about just a ton of different things that's on your mind. We had Commissioner Joe Haney on the show. Always good to have Joe on the show on Friday. He talked about, the role of county government and economic development. How do you do tax, incentives, but also do responsible. But if every other county is doing tax incentives, how do you not do them? Because you'll just never attract it. One of you, I think, maybe called or texted about limiting solar farms in the county. That's always a hard thing, too, because if a farmer owns the land and they want a solar farm there, who's to say that they can't, do that for their own farm and their own property? Corridor around LaPorte. I'm going to hopefully soon put together a candidate survey for some of our candidates, and I would like to ask those running for council and commission and things like that where they stand on some of these issues as well. So if you've got a question that you would like to be put on that survey, I'm not saying I'll put it on there, but go ahead and text me that as well, 219-362-0522, and I'll put it there. I'll try to put it on there. We could talk about the Lake Michigan property owners again. Asked the Supreme Court to make their beach private there in Lake Michigan on the Indiana side. And, I don't know. Can you ever make that lawsuit and look good? Because it just makes you look bad. And I know these people don't care what I think here in LaPorte, even though they live in LaPorte County. They're from Chicago. But, You can't own the lake, and you can't own all the property to the lake. The Supreme Court has already declared that, and they're still fighting it. So, so that's whatever you want to talk about. We got some calls, 219-362-0522. Let's get to a couple callers. Hey, happy Monday, man. Welcome to the show. What's on your mind?
Good afternoon. Hey, I would just like to inform the voters, you've got candidates coming on, you said next month and next month after for the election. Folks, your local election, you have so many options available. You should be concerned what they're doing in Washington and the state, but here locally you have more control because it's right across the street. It's right downtown. Do some research on the candidates. Ask the candidates questions. Don't be afraid. Don't be scared to ask, because then you should remember how they answer. We've got a commissioner seat up this year. I believe 4 council members are up this year. They just passed the lit tax. Some of the council member candidates are already out there saying we need to increase the salaries for all emergency services and all the county employees. Nobody says they don't deserve more. But again, where are you going to come up with that money except higher taxes? Get involved, folks. Do the research. Listen. Call into this show. Ask a question. Throw an answer out there to somebody. But you've got the option available to you to do a lot here locally, and you should be concerned about that. You should be more concerned about who is running than whether or not they have a D, an R, an L, or an I after the name. Listen to them. Ask them the hard questions. Then pay attention to what their answer is. Just remember that, folks. You're going to November 8th, the election this year. You've got that option here locally to pay attention and choose people who are going to put us first instead of themselves or the party. Thank you.
Good note there, Steve. Thanks so much for calling. And again, so many of these issues that impact our residents here and our listeners, let's say the corridor around LaPorte, or, how to, limit solar farms in a county. As you said, that's not an RRD or a libertarian type of decision necessarily. Now, each group might have their feelings on some of these things, but that's a candidate type of issue. And so if you care about those causes, you really do have to get to know the candidate. And I'm sure our party chairs here in the county, who I really enjoy and consider friends, would prefer you to vote straight ticket. I understand that, but I encourage you, just like the last listener did, get to know your candidates, listen to the show, ask questions, text your questions, and again, if you've got a question that you'd like to be put on maybe a survey that I'm going to send out to the candidates, and we'll put it on hometownnewsnow.com. Let me know. I'm not guaranteeing you it'll get on there, but maybe you've got a good question that I'm not thinking of. So again, open show 219-362-0522. The Liquor Vault on-air line is open, 219-362-0522. Let's get to another caller. Hey, happy week, man. Hope you're having a good week. What's on your mind today?
Hey, good afternoon.
Hey.
I want to give a shout out to Leon Obbs there when he does the obituaries. He makes them real personal there. He says a little bit about the person there, in a few seconds there, and, gives them a nice send-off. I just thought that he does a good job there. I thought he should be credited for that.
I will thanks so much for calling. And again, always appreciate that feedback. I will send him an email, make sure he knows that. Good note there. Thanks so much for calling. 219-362-0522. You're welcome to call me or text me. Open show. What's on your mind today? Let's get to another caller. Hey, thanks so much for calling the show. Thanks for listening. What's on your mind today?
Hey, good afternoon, Nate. How's it going?
I'm good, man. Had a good weekend. It was a little hot for me yesterday. I'm ready for this fall weather, but I'm also
got a little
not ready.
hotter today, though.
Yeah, I know. I think we're going to maybe some storms. So.
Yeah. Well, did you guys get rain yesterday?
A little bit. Yeah, a little bit.
Last night, we didn't get any in Michigan City at all yesterday. Or last night.
Yeah, my dog, I've got a big giant poodle, and I put him outside, and he came back all soaked, and I didn't realize it was even raining at the time.
All right. I got two things. The one thing you mentioned was the beachfront owners. It kind of sounds like what the big time Democrats are doing. They're just using the court to try solving their problems. It's like they already solved it, but they want to keep dragging it out, for the beachfront owners. No, that's everybody's lakefront, not just the rich people.
Yeah.
And then the second thing I'd like to say is, I don't know if you heard that Michigan City is helping out LaPorte County. They're going to run sewer out there that's like 20 and 35. Did you hear about that?
I don't think so.
By the old Shirley's Amico, we still call it Shirley's Amico.
Yeah.
Speedway now. But out in that area, the Michigan City Sanitation Department's going to run sewer out there so that they can help develop that corner for the county with hotels and some restaurants and some other stuff's going to go in there. And there's no mention whatsoever about annexation. None. And so, it's kind of nice to see a city working with the county without trying to take the county's land. And that's what keeps happening in LaPorte City. We won't name any names right now. He knows who he is. But annexation really gets on me. People live in the country for a reason. So it's just like, and then like the Pines, they took water. Michigan City water went all the way out to the Pines because they had all the problems out there.
Mm-hmm.
Guess what? We didn't annex the Pines.
Mm-hmm.
So it can be done helping each other without having to annex. So
yeah,
that's my 2 cents for the day, and you have a great day, Nate.
Thanks, buddy. Thanks for calling. Thanks for listening. As always, we've got open phone lines here. The Liquor Vault on-air line is open, 219-362-0522. I think the first caller maybe talked a little bit about the officer stuff, and it's been an ongoing topic, honestly, all year. Here in LaPorte County, we've got EMS, shortages. We've got police, LaPorte County, and I just read an op-ed here in the LaPorte Herald Dispatch about written by Mike Kellums. And a couple lines there I want to bring out because, again, maybe you guys want to talk about this and see what you think. Again, according to an op-ed written by retired LaPorte Sheriff's County Captain and candidate for Council District 1, he says 100 Sheriff Department employees in 7.5 years have left for employment elsewhere. That's a pretty staggering number in the last 7.5 years. Another 28 retired during that period, a total turnover of 128. That number, he says, should shake us all to the core. Portage recently raised the pay of police officers by 18% over 3 years. So I assume, again, maybe some of that was used with the money that the ARP money that the Portage received. But if it's 3 years that they've been raising it, they went back before that. Indianapolis announced starting salary for a patrol person is in 2023 will be almost $62,000 plus a signing bonus of $10,000. That starting salary is equivalent to the pay of a 25-year captain in LaPorte County, again, according to former officer Mike Kellums. He says this issue plagues not only police but EMS, which lost 17 employees in 2021, and the 911 center currently down nearly a dozen staff employees. I've also been told that the county highway department has lost a significant number of employees. So all that to say, what should we do about it, right? You offer more pay, but can we offer enough to compete with Portage? Can you offer enough, to compete with South Bend? If we offer more, will South Bend pay more? Obviously, pay is part of it. I mean, it's got to be a part of it. You got to support a family. You got to support yourself. You got to make it worth the risk, worth the time dedicated to become skilled at these positions. Because I can tell you this. If I'm hurt, if my kids are hurt and I have to call an ambulance, I want skilled people coming to help them. And I think we do have skilled people, but if we're losing them, how do you keep them? So I've been thinking about that, and I'd love to hear what you think, and again, if it's not just about money, and again, and I know we've got callers and listeners that always remind us about our county highway people, and again, you hard to get anywhere, especially in the winter around here without county highway people and things like that. And what's interesting about some of these things is some of them leave the county just to go work for one of the cities that might be paying more. And so you're competing even intra-county with some offices. So, again, what do you think about that? Let's talk some more. We're going to take our first break, 219-362-0522. Call me, text me. I'd love to talk to you today on this Monday here in LaPorte County or wherever you're listening. We're going to take our first break. We'll be right back here in a few minutes only on Sound Off on 96.7 The Eagle.
For over 50 years, LaPorte has trusted Cannon's Automotive Service for prompt, efficient, same-day service. And that same Cannon's commitment extends to area businesses who rely on a fleet of one or many to take your goods or service to the customer. Whether it's the truck or trailer that needs maintained or fixed, trust Cannon's Automotive to maximize your productivity with same-day service. Now with 2 Cannon's locations, 710 Tyler Street and 909 Boyd Boulevard.
With Cannon's Automotive, we fix everything.
Parents, as your children prepare to return to school, make sure they're up to date on routine immunizations. Vaccines help keep your child healthy, protect other students, and have even put an end to some diseases. So, before school begins, remember to start smart. Schedule your child's appointment today and make routine immunizations part of your back-to-school checklist. A friendly reminder from the Indiana Department of Health. Learn more at startsmart.health.in.gov.
And welcome to Auto Dealer Jeopardy.
Alex, can I have LaPorte Auto Dealers for 100, please?
This LaPorte dealer has been in the same family for nearly 50 years. Yes, Max.
What is LaPorte Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram?
That is correct.
Alex, I'll take LaPorte Auto Dealers for 200, please.
This dealer is a home with a lifetime powertrain warranty on nearly every new and pre-owned car they sell. Max again.
What is LaPorte Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram?
You are correct.
Hey, is LaPorte Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram the only answer?
Well, yes, they are. On Pine Lake Avenue or online at LaPorteChrysler.net.
Surf Broadband Solutions is now Surf Internet. They have a new name, but are still serving LaPorte with the same fast fiber internet and local customer care team. Get 1 gig speed and a free whole home Wi-Fi router for the incredibly low price of $65 a month. No contracts and free installation and a price that's locked for life. Surf Internet is expanding to more neighborhoods every day. So visit surfinternet.com to check your address or call 844-955-SURF for details. Limited time offer and summer restrictions apply.
It's back. Ticket Tuesdays are back on 96.7 The Eagle. Be listening every Tuesday during the Morning Mayhem with Joe and Dennis for your chance to win tickets to
Indiana Beach, short overnight stay at any Red Roof Inn along with Shell gas cards.
So who doesn't like free stuff? Join Joe and Dennis on the Morning Mayhem every Tuesday between 6 and 9 a.m. for your chance to win during our Ticket Tuesday giveaway, brought to you by LaPorte Community Federal Credit Union and 96.7 The Eagle.
Thank you for tuning in to Sound Off. You can now text or email your questions directly to the studio. Call or text 362-0522 or email your questions to soundoff@967theeagle.com. This is Sound Off.
Welcome back, friends. Thanks so much for listening to Sound Off. It's an open show. Looking forward to hearing from you. What's on your mind? Again, 219-362-0522. You can also email me at soundoff@967theeagle.com. And I'd be happy to, see what you have to say about that as well. I got to go to the LaPorte Slicers Lowell game this Friday. LaPorte came up short on that one, but I think from all reports, I didn't go to the LaPorte New Prairie game. There was some improvement there, and so it's so hard when you're rebuilding a program. And let's make no mistake, LaPorte Slicers football needs to be rebuilt from the ground up, and so. Kudos to all those players, giving all they can. Kudos to the coaches, because it can be, you're down 0-2, as is Michigan City. It can be hard to be down, and, very likely could be down 0-3 after both teams, honestly, after this coming Friday. But, don't give up hope. Keep building, keep grinding, and we'll see what happens. This Sunday, or this Saturday, is the beginning of college football season. Very, very excited about that. We've got... Notre Dame versus Ohio State. My Fighting Irish are very likely going to get beat by the Buckeyes. I'm heartbroken about it, but I'm just going to admit it. I think Ohio State, this is their year. And so I think we're probably going to get beat. I'm trying to be realistic. I'm trying to be a fan that goes in and says, you know what? There we go. Now you're going to make me feel bad about picking against them. Jeez. Now I feel bad. Now I'm gonna take off my shirt, my jersey here, and put it on Dennis's desk, and tell him I won't go on unless Woogie hosts the show or something. I don't know. Western Michigan is against Michigan State, number 15, Michigan State. I'm gonna guess Michigan State's gonna win that one. Colorado State versus Michigan. I don't know if you know this. I loathe Michigan. Loathe them. If we've got listeners that love the Michigan Wolverines, I know we go into Michigan here. I am sorry. I love you. Don't love your program. Penn State versus Purdue. Who knows? Who knows? That's a tough one. I think it's going to decide. Hopefully, I don't even know how Penn State or Purdue is this year. I know I got a lot of Purdue fans that are friends, but we'll see. And then Illinois versus Indiana. That's going to be a tough one. Illinois, we've got the New Prairie kid over there, Hunter Whitenick, and so we'll see. But college football is back. Excited about that. So what's on your mind today? Let's talk. The Liquor Vault on-air line is open, 219-362-0522. I read a report this morning that around almost 300,000 Hoosiers could have their student loans wiped away in this new idea, or this new executive order that President Biden signed. So 300,000 people could have their student loans wiped away. More than that will obviously have their student loans diminished. They owe more than $10,000 or whatever. It's an interesting thing. I always enjoy when friends are going to get helped with debts and things like that. I know people that have student loans that are waiting to start families, these kind of things. So, again, not to get too deep into that. I do, though, whenever we do programs like this, I do wish we worried about the thing causing the debts, right? None of this does anything to solve some of the student loan crisis, what caused the crisis, the cost of college, the loans being allowed to taken out. Because nobody wants to do a program or debt relief that in 5 years we're going to be in the same issue. We didn't solve anything. So I hope that our legislators, and again, though that's not an executive order type of thing, but I hope Republicans and Democrats can come together and figure some of that out in a more holistic way, so that future generations, don't find themselves in $100,000 worth of debt, become a teacher or something like that. And also take advantage of your local community colleges. Take advantage of Purdue, Northwest. Take advantage of IUSB, Ivy Tech, these kind of things, because I could tell you this: when you graduate and you start your career, you'll be grateful that you have less debt. So much more grateful than the experiences you got going somewhere else and accruing more debt. All right, let's get to another caller. Hey, thanks so much for listening to the show. I appreciate you. What's on your mind today?
Hello. I was wondering if you knew how many trustees there are in LaPorte County, or is that just a volunteer thing, or I'm not familiar with it at all. But the trustees, is there a certain amount of numbers for them?
I can tell you this: it is an elected position. Okay, so you actually have to run for it, and we have trustee elections here in November. And so you might know we've had Lisa Pierzakowski on the show before. Lisa is our Center Township trustee here in LaPorte as well. I don't know. Maybe Lisa's listening. She can text me. Let me see. I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. I think if I counted that right, and again, I was a philosophy major in my undergrad, so I don't really know how to count. It's 21. I think there's 21 trustees. And again, these are positions that have budgets, right? They're positions that should be doing good. We've got, if I'm being frank with you, no names. We got some good trustees, some great trustees. And I think we got some trustees that might need to do a little more. And so these are important positions, as our first caller said. Don't minimize the importance of a trustee as well. Talk to them, figure out which one. You've got, each trustee has an elected board. Republicans and Democrats, they run for these boards and they oversee your trustee. They help set budgets. They do things like this. Again, both are elected. They can't fire your trustee, but they should, like a hand in glove relationship, work together. And that controls a portion of your tax dollars, portion of your budget. And so, again, you can go to LaPorte County government site, and I think on our Explore Our County tab, you'll find the list of trustees. Contact them. The phone numbers are always there, and you can learn more about your trustee, whatever township you're in. All right, we're having an open show today. What's on your mind? 219-362-0522. I'd love to hear from you. Call me or text me. Here we go. Off subject here, but I'd like to commend you on your garden project on Washington Street. It's absolutely beautiful. The beds look great and weed-free. Who takes care of the lawn? Because it's the most perfect looking I've ever seen. Thank you so much for that. So we've got our Brighton Street green space there. Washington Street turns into Brighton Street, and it's over... I don't even know, it's by our church and our PAC Center, these kind of areas. That project's been a blessing. It's been a labor, though. We've had a lot of work. If you are from LaPorte, the former Lennox Dairy location was there. And so years ago, we had that building, that factory donated to us. And I could tell you this, it was caving in, and there were a lot of drugs and things like that happening in that facility, and it was unsafe to be in. And so we were blessed to be able to get that facility and tear it down, but also put a garden there. We did put sod out because my project manager there is a little bit of a grass connoisseur, and he wanted to make sure there's grass being planted there. And I say this lovingly because it was my father. He retired, and I put him to work, and so the grass there is beautiful. We want, one of the things that we do in any of our projects, and if you've been over to the Brighton Street Green Space, our garden directors there are John and Jane Slater. If you go over to our project over on the Jackson Street Community Garden, which is on Jackson and Jefferson, Don Dotson runs that. But there's no reason that beauty can't come to struggling neighborhoods, right? There's no reason that we can't invest, money into neighborhoods that aren't necessarily at the pinnacle of life and investment. And so there's no reason that when you put a community garden, it shouldn't look beautiful, even if it's in the poorest and most struggling census tract in LaPorte County. And so we really love our neighbors there. We love that project. Thanks so much for the compliments. Again, 219-362-0522. That's enough about my projects. What's on your mind today? The Liquor Vault on-air line is open, 219-362-0522. Let's get to another text. This will be a problem come fall and winter when we can't see the road edge. Yes, there's been more and more people, and I don't think it's just you talking about the road edge, and that this is a problem that the county needs to work on. I don't know if any of the commissioners or councilors listening, but this is a common theme that I hear from our listeners, that there's issues with the road edge that will be a problem this winter if it's not addressed. I encourage you to call or email your commissioners about specific problem areas, because they can do a lot more than I can on the radio. I'll use my voice as what I can, but I can't fix the problem. All right, here's another text for you. Fun fact, LaPorte County has 21 townships, the most in Indiana. Thank you so much for that. That is a fun fact. More obviously, we've got, I think, what are we, the second largest landmass county in the state. So we have 21 townships. There's been a lot of talk about taking townships and maybe combining some of them, because maybe we don't need as many townships as we once did. There's a lot of township, talk of, maybe taking, let's say, Wills and Kankakee Township. This is for an example. This isn't an idea. I'm just saying. I just know those townships because I used to live there, and combining them together or something, because those people all technically live in Rolling Prairie. And so there's been talk about that, but we have 21 trustee districts. All right, we're going to take another break. I'd love to hear from you, 219-362-0522. You can call me. Text me. We got more text to get to when we get back. But if you want to call, again, 219-362-0522. I'd love to hear from you today on this open show. Hey, on Friday, we've got Ed Gilliland coming in to talk about his new role with the IHSAA. He'll talk about his time as the athletic director as the Slicers. I want to talk a little bit about how high school sports has changed. Maybe he's got an idea on the NIL stuff as well, or some opinions on that. So make sure you listen on Friday as well. But we've got another segment coming up here. If you've got a call, 219-362-0522. I'd love to hear from you. All right, stay where you're at. We'll be right back here on 96.7 The Eagle.
Ben Conowitz here, owner of LaPorte Seamless Gutter. My parents started LaPorte Seamless Gutter in 1982 with one goal in mind, really. Our customers' 100% satisfaction. And we are still providing the same customer service that Tim and Seal Conowitz started all those years ago. Give us a call today for a free estimate at 219-362-9972, or you can visit us on the web, www.lpseamless.com. 219-362-9972.
At Metro by T-Mobile, you can save more now that you need it the most. Get one line of unlimited 5G for just $40, period. Taxes and fees included. That's the lowest price in prepaid. Plus, choose from the largest selection of free 5G phones from brands you love, like Samsung. Switch now and save more. Only at Metro. If congested, the fraction of users greater than 35 gigabytes per month may notice reduced speeds, and Metro customers may notice reduced speeds versus T-Mobile due to prioritization. Video streams in SD requires eligible port-in. See store for details.
It's that time of year when you should make the visit out to Garwood's Orchards. This week, homegrown Michigan Bartlett pears, just $1.88 a pound. Garwood Honeycrisp apples, $1.99 a pound. Utility grade half bushels, $15.95. Garwood canning tomatoes, red, yellow, or Roma, $15.95 half bushel. Homegrown seedless watermelon, $4.99 each. Garwood homegrown sweet corn, 6 for $2.88. Homegrown green cabbage, 59 cents a pound. And just a reminder, pickle season is winding down. Garwood Garwood still has half-bushel pickles for canning. Also available in the market, Fall Mums, Garwood Honeycrisp Caramel Apples with all sorts of toppings, Albanese Candy and Taffies, Fisher Smoked Meats, Parkman Angus Meats, Broken Wagon Bison, Gobies Honey, and much, much more. And in the U-Pick, check out Honeycrisp and Gala Apples, Red Raspberries, Blackberries, vegetables and flowers. Also, don't forget horse-drawn wagons on the weekends. And coming up on September 10th and 11th, it's Apple Fest. Garwoods at 50 South past Pinola, feeding LaPorte County for 6 generations.
LaPorte High School Slicer varsity football is on 96.7 The Eagle. This Friday, the Slicers travel to Valparaiso to take on the Vikings. Slicer football proudly brought to you by Auto Body Specialties, MC Doors, O'Brien's Battery and Tire, All Star Autos, Raymond and Spence Insurance, Surf Internet, Back to Health Chiropractic, LaPorte Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram, Rosie Michaels of Coldwell Banker First Choice, and by Marsh Insurance Agency. Join Chip Jones and Steve Mattering this Friday beginning at 6:45 for Slicer football on your radio home for Slicer Sports, 96.7 The Eagle.
Michiana weather.
High of 87 this afternoon under overcast skies with scattered thunderstorms likely. Southwest winds 10 to 15 miles per hour. Scattered thunderstorms again tonight, 64. Cloudy. From the Weather Center at HometownNewsNow.com. Right now, 84.
Your opinion matters. We invite you to share it by calling or texting the Liquor Vault on-air line at 362-0522. That's 362-0522. Now, back to Sound Off on 96.7 The Eagle.
Welcome back, friends. Good to have you on our final segment of Sound Off. We got about 10 minutes left. What's on your mind? Give me a call here at 219-362-0522. Send me a text if you'd like. A couple more texts to get through. And again, I appreciate you for texting us as well. Here's a text. Mitch Daniels held tuition frozen for 8 years at Purdue. That's how you solve college debt, through government handouts. I think, again, kudos to Mitch Daniels for doing that, and kudos to Purdue for doing that, because they did. They've kept Purdue at the same rate for quite a few years. I don't know if they raised it. I did just look up after I saw that text. Right now for Purdue, room and board, again, that doesn't count books or anything, or the cost of some other things, food plans, I don't think. But anyway, Purdue room or board is right now $20,022 a year, according to their website. IU, Indiana University's room and board is $23,674 per year. So IU is about $3,600 more per year. Still, not cheap, obviously. If you go to a more local satellite type of campus, if you go to Purdue in Westville or Hammond or IU and Gary or in South Bend, it's obviously going to be significantly cheaper as well. Again, I understand the complex and nuanced nature of college debt. I have paid off, we paid off our loans and everything like that. However, I also know that I know so many people who are hampered by that and are wanting to maybe spend, more on other things that could spend more, but they've got ridiculous amounts of debts. And let us go back as well to say, I hope more financial training and budget training and things like this can happen more in high school as well. The risk of loans, the risk of, again, getting credit cards. It was one of my biggest mistakes when when you get into college and you have no money. I had my tires on my vehicle go out, and I had no money to pay for it. I had a job, but again, you're living paycheck to paycheck. I didn't have $500 to get tires, and so I got a credit card, and that $500 turned into another $100 for this and this, and all of a sudden I've got, I'm in college, I've got very little income and $3,500 worth of debt, thinking that I'll get out of college and I'll make money and I'll pay that off in no time, and you don't. And so again, the risk of debts and things like this is an important conversation as well. All right, Liquor Vault on airline is 219-362-0522. I'd love to hear from you today. What's on your mind? Let's talk about topics that you've got. Here's another one. Does the state government, Indiana state government, sorry to all of our Michiganders listening, but does the Indiana state government spend too much time focusing on Indianapolis? Recently, I saw a graph illustrating job growth over the last 15 years in Indiana. So the graph, and I can, if you want to see the graph, let me know. I'll send send me an email and I'll send it to you. But the graph was illustrating it, and honestly, 8% in the state. But you look at it though, in the Indianapolis metro area has had in the last 15 years 18% job growth. The rest of the state of Indiana in 15 years, this includes LaPorte County, this includes Porter, Stark, this includes Fort Wayne, Evansville, South Bend, has had 1%. 1% growth in 15 years. 1%, that's it. So when the state talks about our state growth, does that include all of us? Or does that just include that focused area? I don't know about you, especially if you're, a little bit younger, but I'm 40. I'm not young anymore, but all of my closest friends almost from New Prairie High School that I graduated with, almost all live down by Indianapolis now because that's where they could get jobs and the good paying jobs are there. And now it just seems like the state government focuses a lot on Indianapolis, a lot. And maybe that's why there's so much job growth there. I don't know. But it doesn't seem to be happening in the rest of the state. I'd love to know what you think about that. 1% over the last 15 years compared to 18% in the Indianapolis metro area over 15 years. 219-362-0522. I'd love to hear from you. All right, here's a text here. You should invest on Indiana Beach since it closed up after Labor Day. Call it Nate Lauch's land. All in fun, sir. I didn't know Indiana Beach closed again. They just had a new buyer. Dennis, what do you know about that? What can you tell me?
They're just closing for the season. That's all. And they opened up a month early is what we were told. So they opened up earlier, so that's why they're closing Labor Day weekend. This weekend will be it. But they're back again next year. They are not
Same owners.
Same owners. They are not closing anything up. It's just the park for the year. That's all.
I haven't been down there since these new owners have taken over. I've heard they've done some good things there. But it was in a lot disrepair.
Yeah, and that's what they've done. They've done a lot of repair, and they're trying to add. So give them a few years. I think they got the five-year master plan.
I have a very serious question for you, Dennis.
Yes, Nate.
This is going to define, I think, our friendship going forward. But so tell me this.
Okay.
This astute listener here,
Derek,
brilliant guy. I don't know who it is. Brilliant guy, though. Says we should maybe call this Nate Lauch's land. And I'm seeking investors. How much are you going to invest into that?
Depends how much you're going to invest in the 20th annual roof set coming up on September the 9th.
Hey, Dennis, real quick, just in case people haven't listened to the Morning Mayhem today.
Yeah.
Tell people about
Okay. Yeah, the 20th annual, 20 years, Nate. I'm going up on the roof again. I may need some help. So, as a good friend of mine, I know you will be right there to help me.
I'm here for you, buddy.
That's right. Going up on the roof, and on September the 9th, a week from this Friday, starting at 5 a.m., and it should end roughly around 6:30, 6:45, because we have high school football. But we're looking to raise $40,000 to $45,000. That means if we get at $45,000, guaranteed over 400 kids here in LaPorte County will get to go Christmas shopping on December the 6th over at Walmart. The only kids it doesn't cover is the ones in Michigan City. And thanks to the LaPorte County Realtors Association, not only do they handle that, okay, the kids in Michigan City and the surrounding area there, they also help us out by, putting in money as well so that we can make sure all the kids get to go Christmas shopping. And with the prices the way they are, we know it's going to cost a lot more to take these kids shopping. And for the first time in 2 years, we are actually taking the kids with us unless the numbers go up. Something like that. But otherwise, kids will get to go Christmas shopping this year. So don't forget, Nate loves pies. He's always one of the first ones in line.
I do love
for the ladies of Pioneer Land and their pies at 4:00 this year. Nate's also a huge T-Berry smash burger fan.
Love a good. I miss T-Berries.
Yep.
Yeah.
Well, Dan's going to cook some smash burgers for us coming up from 11 to 1 for lunch.
I wonder if Dan, they had that it was like a Big Mac version of a Big Mac.
Yes, they did. The Triple T.
Yeah, I hope they make that for me and bring that back.
Not just smash burgers.
Well, no. Oh. I'm putting it out there. I'm manifesting.
Sorry. Okay.
I'm manifesting it right now,
Gotcha.
Dennis. I'm hoping that it happens. So, what are you hoping to raise that day?
Between $40,000 and $45,000.
If you get to $46,000, will all of the overage get invested into Nate Lauch's land?
I can't because in our bylaws, all the money goes to the kids of LaPorte County. Sorry, Nate, that's not in LaPorte County.
Working out well for me.
I've always done it for the kids, buddy. Now, privately, we can talk. But remember, I work in radio, and you know what we make. So.
Exactly.
See, notice how your chair went down on you. Great equipment, baby.
Can we get some things fixed around here? All right, back to some of your texts here. A couple before we're done here. Why does our county employees seem to be lower tier on the pay scale? That is a great question, and one that I think you should ask your elected officials this year. Why is it that we're lower than everyone? We know that the wages have to be increased, but why were we already so low? And why didn't we, what are we going to do to make sure that that doesn't happen again? The high interest rates for college student loans are a contributing factor to the overall debt issue. Again, I think that's a great part of the solution is the interest rates. I've heard from friends that have been paying, so much on their student loans, and they've barely covered all of their interest rates. And so, again, a good question. I'm not even saying I have the solutions, but let's talk about bigger solutions. All right. Smash burgers with Clay Hill Ranch beef. All right.
Yeah, that's Brett Kessler. He's donating all the hamburger to us this year.
All right, Brett. Hey, Brett, if you know somebody there, I'm looking for that Big Mac thing. And so maybe, make that happen for me if you can. All right, here's another text. Who paid for these signs that say dump Sheila, fire Shaw? I think it's a joke. I have no idea. I assume, I don't know if signs have to be, one of our elected officials could tell me if signs have to be put up, if they're being put up publicly, have to be paid through a candidate or a PAC or anything. I don't think they do, but so who knows? Maybe somebody will claim it. Most state capitals have more investment than the rest of the state cities. Simple business sense, closer to the legislative body where things happen. I understand that, and I understand there's lots happening in Indianapolis, and I understand that it's, again, it's a fun city to be in, though the crime there is higher than Indianapolis or higher than Chicago. But I know there's a lot of good things happening there. But to me, that says you should also focus on the rest of the state, right? Make the right investments here in Northwest Indiana and Fort Wayne to make sure that growth can happen similarly. If it can't, why can't it? Why can't the growth happen here that happens in Indianapolis? How do we attract the type of people, the type of businesses, the type of growth that they're receiving? And is it an impossibility? If it is, what are we doing here? All right. On Friday, Ed Gilliland will be here. We'll talk about LaPorte sports. We'll talk about high school sports in general. I'd love to talk to him about how high school sports has changed, what he saw as an athletic director. We're also going to talk about his role with the IHSAA coming up. And so lots of good shows coming up. Thank you so much for listening today. Thanks for contributing to part of the conversation. I always appreciate you. Be good to yourself this week. Be good to others, and keep listening to 96.7 The Eagle.
Thank you for joining us and voicing your opinion on this edition of Sound Off. The views on Sound Off are those of the host or callers and do not represent the opinion of 96.7 The Eagle, Spoon River Media LLC, or the sponsors. Sound Off airs every Monday and Friday at 12:30. Please mark your calendar and join us again for the next edition of Sound Off on 96.7